Alright everyone, this is going to be my last video on the Cluckin Bell Raid, at least for the immediate future anyway. Today I'm going to finish walking through the remaining setup missions, providing some tips and tricks, and then just go through a recap of the entire mission and the time you can expect to complete everything. I'm also going to go over some additional tips and tricks that many of you have provided that will hopefully make everything a little more easier. Okay, so to start this whole thing off, it's a Slush Fund mission. This is the first of the setups for this raid. And I know I've stated this many times before, but for this setup and all the setups, I'll be using and recommending the Vigilante. It's not quite as fast as a Hakuchu drag bike, I know, but what it lacks in speed, it more than makes up for in armor and weapons. So when heading to the first money laundering hideout, just follow my path here. Head straight and then turn right at the mall for the quickest route. You want to head to the entrance from Prosperity Street first. This will allow a clean sight line to take out the 3 or 4 enemy NPCs hanging out in front. Once you've taken out the majority with your missiles, just head inside. Don't worry if you didn't kill them all, you're not going to receive too much damage running from the Vigilante to the entrance. Once inside, you'll need to eliminate 2 guards and then begin removing the first of 2 stashes of cash in the laundry machines. Once you've removed the first stash, there'll be a 3rd guard that walks out and waits, patiently I might add, until you've finished. Once done with the first stash, quickly eliminate him and then head for the 2nd stash. After this, just leave. Once you're outside, there'll be more guards waiting, but ignore them and just head to the Vigilante. Once you're inside, you'll be protected, and you shouldn't have received too much damage when running from the door. From here, just again, follow my path. You now need to go to the last location, marked with a B on the minimap, and perform the exact same activities. When you arrive, I like to take out as many enemies as you can with the missiles, and then just back your way in so you're parked near the entrance. Once inside, it's the exact replica of the first location. There'll be 2 guards in the beginning, and 1 that spawns after the first collection. The only difference here is that instead of the 2 stashes in the laundry machines, there'll be 3. And when you leave, you should spawn directly near the Vigilante. Simply need to press the triangle if you're playing on a PS5 controller, that is, and you're set. And that's it. Just drive your way back to Vincent's and you're done. There is one annoying glitch if you're driving the Vigilante back to Vincent's though, and this is what I like to call the imaginary wall syndrome. When you cross Vinewood Boulevard just before the entrance to Vincent's, if you stay in the correct lane, i.e. the right lane, you're going to run into an imaginary wall. Yeah, there's really no other way to explain this. I've done this many times and it's always here. I've even gotten out and walked around the vehicle to see if I was missing anything, and there's nothing. It's incredibly annoying, and my only advice here is that always make sure you're in the left lane after you cross Vinewood, or you'll always run into it. Okay, the next setup mission is the Breaking and Entering mission. I've already completed a video on this, which I'll link in the description below, but I wanted to give some shout-outs to some of the great tips you guys provided. Sabas_ASMR mentioned that using the minigun or laser gun works far quicker when taking out the drones, and also comments on me struggling to get into the train at the end. Basically stating that all I needed to do was hit the triangle button, again if you're playing on the PS5, when I get close to the train. As soon as I read this, I'm like, oh yeah, use a triangle button to get into any vehicle. I'm such an idiot. Alright, so awesome tips, and thanks again for the reminder. Alright, mission number 3 is the concealed weapons. I originally stated that my preference is grabbing the option B weapons from the boat, and I'm sticking to this. For me, I like these weapons better, mainly because of the aim and the fact that, at least for me it seems, you don't immediately get detected when leaving the factory at the end. However, I did receive a great tip from Original Griff stating that you can headshot an NPC as you're leaving the factory to avoid being detected. So, because of this, I'm going to go through both options A and B, and you can make your own decision on what works best for you. They're both incredibly easy, and contrary to the popular belief, they're both relatively quick. So, for option A weapons, it's pretty straightforward. As soon as I get in my Vigilante, I basically drive straight for 1 block and then turn right, followed by another immediate left. Doing this gives you a clear shot all the way to the hideout. As soon as you get close, your Vigilante will lock onto 2 gang members standing in front of the first house on the corner. Eliminate both using the missiles. After this, do not fire any more missiles as you risk destroying one of the cars. On this mission, there's 2 items you need to collect: the weapons and the gear. And for option A, the gear's located in the trunk of one of the cars. I typically stop near the first car and park sideways to use the vigilante as cover. From here, use whatever weapon you feel comfortable with and eliminate all the gang members. There's 3 cars you need to search for the weapons. You'll either get lucky and find the gear in the first car, or unlucky and find it in the last car. As you're seeing here, I split the difference and end up finding it in the second car. After this, head for the house with the fence around it, and sitting on a blue box near the front porch, you'll see another box. This is the weapons portion you'll need to collect. After this, you're done. Climb aboard your trusty steed and head back to Vincent's. When you get back to Vincent's, make sure to pull out your phone and text Vincent with a confirmation of both the weapons and gear, or the mission will not end. Okay, now for option B weapons. For this one, we need to head to an offshore yacht to collect both the gear and weapons. Again, using the vigilante, just follow my path. There's really only one major turn you need to make, and this would be the right-hand turn at the mall. From here, it's a straight shot all the way to the beach. When you get to the end of the road, turn right and then left onto the Bay City Incline Road. Keep turning left and pull off the road near the cliff. When you reach the end, hit the boost and enjoy the ride. This should land you on the beach near the boat. There's 2 jet skis parked on the other side of the water inlet. I would recommend backing in to allow for a quicker escape when you're done. From here, head to the boat. After climbing on deck, equip a weapon, again my recommendation is assault shotgun, and keep running to the first set of doors. You'll only need to kill 5 total enemies on the boat, and the first one is here, near the monitors. Next, head through the door and kill the next 2 guards. Keep traveling towards the middle of the boat and keep an eye on the minimap. You'll see a green weapons icon, which is the box to the left of the cabin entrance. Once you've collected this, head to the doors and into the cabin area. The gear is always going to be stashed in the first cabin on the right. There'll be a guard standing next to it. This will be your 4th kill. Don't worry about killing anyone else in the area. You aren't going to get any significant damage unless you dawdle or take your time. Just run in, kill, grab the bag, and then leave. Once you exit this area, just backtrack your way out. The last guard you need to kill was the one we saw when we first entered. You could have killed him at the beginning, but it doesn't really matter. I kill him here and then grab a jet ski to return to the vigilante. There's going to be an enemy helicopter chasing you, but if you're using the vigilante, you'll be safely protected. Just hop in and then head back. And that's it. And just remember to text Vincent to confirm everything when you're done.
I'll keep the other options on standby. Applaudable effort.
Alright, the last setup I haven't touched on yet is the hit and run mission for option A. I have created a previous video where I walk through option B, which again I'll link below, but that version was to collect the faster of the vehicles, which I prefer. However, I wanted to walk through option A as well because there's many of you out there that actually prefer this mission. And option A does have some benefits. Number one, it's the closest location to the final destination, so it should take less time to complete. And two, option A is always going to be the easier of the setups. But if you watch my video on option B, you'll see that you can also complete this one fairly quickly and without taking any serious damage as well. Okay, first, if you're using the Vigilante, just follow my route. You want to shortcut your way up Vinewood Hills towards, I believe it's called Marlow Drive. Anyway, just keep traveling on this road, avoiding crashing if you can, and keep going straight. When you hit the Y in the road next to the fruit stand, you want to go left. Just keep driving around the corner until you reach the small grass-covered hill. When you reach the top of the hill, hit your boost and enjoy the ride. The landing may get a little squirrely, but just keep aiming for the highlighted area of option A and you'll be okay.
I expect that this road will take Connie to another visit. Their vehicle may not be much, but they'll probably fight for it this time around.
When you arrive, just keep launching missiles and then head towards the front of the garage. As soon as you get close, you should have wiped out the majority of gang members, so you can exit and then quickly take out the electrical box on the roof to open the garage door. Once open, head inside, hop aboard one of 3 slower vehicle options. You're seeing here I have the Moonbeam Custom Van option, and then make your way to the factory. For the quickest route, again, just follow my path. Head north along Joshua Road, and then as soon as you cross under the train tracks, turn left. Go over the bridge, and then just keep going straight. Up over the small cliff towards the train tracks. Just follow the tracks all the way to the factory. This is your best and quickest route to avoid the enemies who will be chasing you. Once you arrive, just smash through the fence and head for the entrance icon. If you've taken too much damage to the vehicle, you'll have to make one extra stop near the factory to have it repaired, but other than that, the mission should be very stress-free. As soon as you leave, there'll be a car parked in front of you. Just steal the car, and while you're getting in, make sure to text Vincent right away to confirm the getaway vehicle. After this, just keep driving until you get the mission pass screen.
A perfectly sound getaway vehicle.
And that's it. I do want to take this time to go over some additional tips and tricks that others have commented on, starting with the disorganized crime video that I made. Ravaloga, apologies if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but he was the first to call out that you don't need the duffel bag from the vans to complete this mission stealthy. So this will drastically cut the time it takes to hack the location. Getting the duffel bag does get you the undercover uniform, so if you found a way to keep this clothing item, you may still want to grab the duffel bag. And lastly, in the previous video I made on the Cluckin Bell finale, JT Mickelson, again, apologies if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but this comment was in regards to my walkthrough with the hacking device. I didn't like that you potentially had to run around the crates and the conveyor to get at the 2 computer stations on the south end. Turns out you can jump over the conveyor. I guess I was just programmed to believe that you can't jump over anything when you're inside a building during a mission. So yeah, awesome tip and thank you. Okay, finally I want to summarize all the setups and the missions that I've completed for the Cluckin Bell Raid. I've added times to everything to give you an estimate on how long this raid is going to take, from start to finish. The times that you see are actual times I've overlaid in my videos, so they are legit. You can view them if you like, but yeah, these are the actual times. Now, as I mentioned in the video, I reviewed 2 options for both the concealed weapons setup and the hit and run setup, so I'm including both variants with the updated times for both. As you can see, if you opt for option A for both of these, the total time comes in at just over 40 minutes. If you use option B variants, the time gets pushed to just over 44 minutes. Both come in under the 45-minute limit that you need to complete for the career progress. If you have the newer consoles, that is, meaning just go with whatever option feels good to you and you'll be fine. Now, I do want to mention that in all these videos I made, there were mistakes I made and tips I could have implemented, which would have brought these times down even further. So, yeah, In conclusion, the Cluckin Bell Raid is definitely something you're going to want to mix in with your other money grinding efforts. 500 large for roughly 40 minutes of work is definitely worth the effort. Alright, so that's it, my friends. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and want to help out, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and let me know what you think. Is the Cluckin Bell Raid something you'll be grinding? Or are you not a fan and prefer other heists or raids? If so, drop a comment below and let everyone know. Until next time, be happy, be well, be safe, be Maestro!